Welcome to the PokeBowl League. We're closing in on year 6, baby. We're lining up the family tree to get destroyed by Nerd Robbie. Robbie just claimed victory.
Hello, Poke Nerds. Welcome to your initiation into autism. It's a painful process, but it is worth it. It is truly biblical. You must slay your giants to get to the promised land. This will be a video about walking the newcomers coming in season 6 of the PokeBowl on just running over the basics of the league, just in case you're confused to clear up anything. So let's jump right into it. We'll go over the basic league structure first. It's an 8-week regular season, best of one. So you just play one match every week against another opponent in this league. So obviously, not everyone's going to be playing each other. So we've split the league into 4 divisions of 5 teams. Each division will play everyone in their league once, and that'll be like the first 5 weeks. So technically, you have a bye, and you'll go cross divisional. So you'll play everyone in your division plus a few others. The top placed guy in their division automatically qualifies for the quarterfinals in the playoffs. And this is great because we've split the divisions based off of career rankings. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 career win percentage, they're all together. And so on, all the way from 16 through 20. So someone with a career win percentage all the way down the 16th career win percentage to the 20th career win percentage, they will qualify for a quarterfinal spot. So you have a lot on the table. The remaining 10 playoff members will be determined by PBCS rankings, which I will cover in a little bit. The bottom 6 that don't make the playoffs, you're not out of it yet. You will be in the consolation bracket in the first round. And also losing in playoffs before the semifinals demotes you to the consolation bracket. So you're not out of it if you lose in the playoffs. You still need to play your consolation games. And once you get to playoffs and or consolation, it is a best of 3, not of 1. So you at least have to play 2 games. We'll move on to the next section. One of the great things about this league is great, not great. I guess one of the bad things about this league is it's not very balanced. We are very top heavy. We have about 5 guys that are head and shoulders above everybody else, at least based off of career win percentage. One of those guys, Robbie, remember the name. He's won the league 3 times. He's on a 2 PokeBowl win streak. He's won it in back-to-back years. So to counteract this balance, because there are some guys that are just hanging out at the bottom, we do implement a strength of schedule. So the number 1 ranked player based off of career win percentage has the hardest schedule, at least on paper. And it's not based off of anything performances throughout this year. It's taken all from previous years of the data from then. So on paper, they have the hardest schedule. Team number 20 on paper has the easiest schedule. I'm just going to throw it out there. Charles, he's been in the league for a while. He has the easiest schedule. You'll probably discover why. I'm sorry, Charles. That is not a diss. The other thing we have is adjustable PAB. Now, PAB, we call it, it's PAB, Pokemon Acquisition Budget. That's kind of your money to purchase Pokemon in the draft. The base PAB is 100. Charles, I believe, has 108. So it's all adjustable, and it's adjusted based off of the person with the highest career winning percentage. So it's based off of their percentage. There's a formula that kind of compares your percentage to that person's and adjust it properly to give you a slight advantage so that you're not just getting absolutely walloped. You can actually compete even though you're not as good. So we're scraping the edges of socialism, but it's all for the fun of just having fun in Pokemon. The other thing that we implement is the PBCS formula. PBCS stands for PokeBowl Championship Series. So it's similar to the BCS formula. So we do have strength of schedule, we do have adjustable PAB, but we want the best teams in the playoffs. So to do that, we made a formula. That formula is based, I believe, it's like 50% off of your that regular season win percentage. So 50% of the formula is that. So 100% of that 50% would be 8-0, right? And then 30% is based off of your strength of schedule. And I forget the actual numbers on that, but nobody has a perfect schedule. So nobody has 100% of that 30%. So no one's going to get a max 30% off that because the number one ranked player has to have the hardest schedule. Well, the hardest schedule is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that one can't play himself. So one has the hardest schedule, but he can't have technically the hardest schedule. Only number 9 could or below. So nobody's going to get 100% of that 30%. Now you can make up for that percentage, that missed percentage in your strength of schedule through the next 20%, which is the KD ratio. Um, on average, I think that the in the last 5 seasons of the PokeBowl, the best KD ratio was about 1.8. There were a few outliers, so we put 100% at 2. So you can get above 2. Last year there was a guy that got like 2.15 or something. So he got above 20% technically, kind of quote unquote broke the formula, got above that. So if you get above, if you're bottom of the league and your strength of schedule is horrible and you only get like 2% of the strength of schedule, I don't even know if that's possible, but if say you get 2%, then of that 30%, but you could make up for that. You could get 30% technically of that 20% of KD. Anyways, might be confusing, but there is a formula. It's because we want the best players, but then we also wanted everyone to compete for something, which is why we have split the league into 4 divisions of 5, where you're competing for a quarterfinal spot. The other thing to take account for the league measures for balance is we don't allow in-game calcing. So there is a calculator for Pokemon Showdown, for Pokemon in general. And if you don't know how to run it, it's really hard to run it in-game, especially with the timer on. So we've banned that. It's not banned completely. You can, and I highly recommend this, do calcs before your games. Have an idea of what your end game's going to be. If you have a Pokemon that's choice banded, you don't know what a choice band is, look into that. Know what the percentages are for you to sweep that team if that's how you plan on sweeping in your end game or whatever it is. Next topic we'll cover team building. This is just some basic stuff. It's all in the sheet. The sheet may change, but our main sheet, at least as of now, it's a little outdated. But go off that. Your team building, you should have 10 to 12 Pokemon at all times after the draft. You can be coming out of the draft with 10 to 12 Pokemon. You must, at all times, be within your PAB limit, your Pokemon acquisition limit, which all newcomers, at least as of now, will only have 100 because we don't know how good you are yet. So you get the strength of schedule bonus. You're rated with a PBCS ranking. Basically, if you just do well, you'll perform well. But you don't get the adjustable PAB because we don't have anything to weigh it off of. Keep in mind Terra Captain. So Pokemon that cost 8 points or less can be your Terra Captains. A Terra Captain means you can terrestrialize in that Pokemon within battle. You can only terrestrialize it into two Terra types that you choose right after the draft. So have an idea what your Terra captains, who your Terra captains are going to be going into the draft, and what typings you'd like to terrestrialize into. One of those typings has to be the original typing of the Pokemon. So if you draft a Pokemon that's normal poison type, then one of those typings that you choose has to be either normal or poison. And then the second typing can be whichever typing you want it to be. So, like if you drafted Typhlosion, he's a fire typing. One of his typings would have to be fire. The next typing would be whatever you choose, water. I don't know. Um, so that's Terra Captains. Banned Mons, abilities, items. Be aware of those. It's in the sheet. Banned Mons, they wouldn't be tiered in our list. So you can kind of ignore that. Other than 3 Pokemon every year get banned by guys within our league. And we'll go over that more towards the end when it goes to rewards and awards. But it is an award or a reward you get for certain placements and winning certain things in the league is banning a Pokemon the previous year. And you can kind of use that to your advantage, strategically speaking. Abilities. Um, what abilities are banned? Well, Sand Veil, Snow Cloak, any ability that boosts your evasion. I know for sure those are banned. Those are 100% banned in the format we use on Pokemon Showdown, so you don't have to worry about that as much because it won't even let you go into battle. Items, not as much. Any evasion boosting item banned. Terrain extenders, those are banned. Weather rocks, those are banned. Those two additions are new this year. There might be a few others. Z crystals, those are banned. All Megas and Dynamax stuff, that's banned. But I hope you already know that. That might be it for that. Last thing about in this section, don't forget about waivers. You do have 3 waiver wire transactions that involves either one trade or just dropping a Pokemon, picking up a Pokemon. You always must be within the 10 to 12 Pokemon and the PAB limit after each waiver transaction. But you can't adjust your team. You can adjust your team as the year goes on. Take advantage of that. It can really swing matchups. I believe the waiver wire transaction deadline, trade deadline, if you want to call it that, is the Monday after week 5. Draft day to nose. So coming into draft day, no, 2 minutes per pick. This is extremely fast for a Pokemon draft, especially with 20 guys. You're going to get sniped. Come in with a team that you want to draft, maybe 2 teams. I've never done that. I've just come in with one team I want to draft. And for every Pokemon that's filling a certain category in your team, have a backup. Have 2 backups, especially with 20 guys in the league. That could be as easy as going to AI and saying, "Okay, I want Donphan, right? That's my one choice. You're going in with AI. Give me 2 Pokemon similar to Donphan that can fulfill that same role. It might not do it as well, but it's going to be the same role. So just know these things so that you don't get stuck and that your 2 minutes. We've seen it happen. Your 2 minutes will expire this year. There will be rules implemented on what happens when that time expires, and it's not good. So be prepared to pick your Pokemon. Last year we had day of trades, along with just trading anything. I know for a fact this year there's going to be no day of trades. You may be able to trade Pokemon for Pokemon, or not Pokemon for Pokemon, but just picks for other picks. But don't quote me on that. Talk to Dan, Stern, and Caleb for more info on that. Scheduling and forfeits within the league. When scheduling, you are responsible for communicating with your weekly opponent to schedule a date and time. Just please be considerate and reasonable because prep time and prep is very crucial in Pokemon. 50% of the game is already played before the game starts. So keep that in mind. Try to be prepared when you can. If you just want to play Pokemon and not worry about prepping, that's fine as well. But in this league, most of the guys you're playing, you probably will lose. Um, if you text a guy, he doesn't respond, and then at the end of the week, the game's not played, but we don't see anything within the Discord, there's no proof that you reached out. There's no proof that he didn't respond. So it would count as a forfeit for both of you guys. Text him. That's great. Copy, paste that text over to Discord. That's all you got to do. Just have it in Discord because that's the only thing we can see and use to determine which way forfeits go. We're hoping not to have any forfeits. There shouldn't be. It's not that hard. Just throw a team out there, even if you haven't prepped. Get it over with. Get your 6-0 defeat over with. Speaking of battling, let's get into battling standard requirements. You must always bring, I don't know why you would do this, but you must always bring 6 Pokemon that are currently on your roster. I don't know why you bring less than 6. You can't bring more than 6, but just make sure the Pokemon that are on your roster. Sometimes waiver transactions, you might have forgotten you did that. But we had never had that issue. In this league, we have a 2-item clause. That means that you can't have you can't have the same item equipped to more than 2 Pokemon on your team in battle when you go to battle. So the 6 Pokemon you're bringing to battle, you could put leftovers on 2 of them, and then you'd have to have a different item on the rest of the 4. We also do have self-imposed status limits in this league. And boy, I hope I don't get this wrong, but it's 3. So you can say you have a Pokemon with Toxic or Will-O-Wisp or Thunder Wave. Those are the common ones that we see. You can only Toxic 3 Pokemon. So if you Toxic intentionally 3 Pokemon that come out, 4th one switches in, and you Toxic him, you lose the game. So you do not Toxic him. If you set, there are exceptions. If you have an ability like Static or Toxic Chain or Toxic Spikes are out on the field, and they get and their whole team gets toxic because of that passive ability, that's okay. That doesn't count. Now, if there are 3 Pokemon that get passively toxic, and then you toxic a 4th, that is illegal. So only 3 Pokemon with the same status intentionally. Um, this year, another new rule is the timer will be on because of the infamous tie that went about like 240 turns or something like that. It was something like hell. So the timer is on unless a mutual agreement at any point. So right before the game. If there's no mutual agreement, then timer runs. We'll give each player 2 1-minute timeouts. So each player gets 2 timeouts. Each timeout is 1 minute long. Please respect that policy. Um, if a player takes a timeout and exceeds that 1 minute, then their opposing player, their opponent, they don't have to respect that second timeout. So yeah, obviously respect bans. If you use some item and that's banned and you think we don't catch it, we might be suspicious. We can see the background data on Pokemon Showdown. So just please respect the bans. Any rules that were broken, we'll review them, but the game would be treated as a forfeit. Post battle, so after you've battled, you must save your replays. Post them on the Discord and on your team sheet. There will be a section there to post your replays. And then after you post that replay, input your statistics. It is extremely annoying to go back through and input statistics because guys are just either too lazy or they squeaked in this game that had to go do something and then they don't remember to do it. It's nice if you just do it right after. That's a part of the whole process. Schedule the game so that you can play it and input the statistics. Even if you're angry that you just got your booty whooped. Because that is real. Lastly is the rewards and awards. Let's see. First place. Potentially there will be a cash prize this year for first place. That will be determined on draft day. We'll be taking some votes on some things, on where the money's going to go, where the future of the league's going to go, potentially promotion, relegation with 20 guys. 20 guys is a very big league, but we're going to be voting on that as a league. The runner-up, this is where we see our first ban given out for the following season. So the runner-up gets a ban. We did this because we've had guys have so many great seasons, make it all the way to the championship and lose, and they don't get any reward. So we thought we'd hand them a ban. The consolation winner gets a ban. That's why the consolation bracket's there. You're competing for a ban next year, which, if used correctly, can be very valuable. The last and final ban, third ban, is given to the person, the individual who has the MVP winner on his team. So there are 3 bans given out. If you get 2 bans, say you are the runner-up and you had the MVP winner or whatever it was, then that ban will go to somebody else. I'm forgetting off the top of my head who that ban goes to, but that would be addressed if that situation comes up. For the awards, at the end of the season, we do some awards. It's on the sheet. You can check it out. Most of the awards we vote on. We do like a coach's poll at the end of the season just to kind of, it's fun, league interaction. So keep an eye out for messages and things to vote on for that. Any actual handling of the sheet, hit up somebody, a part of the, whether me, Cole, that is, Caleb, Robbie, Garrett, Daniel Sternwise, or any of your other friends in the league that know what the heck's going on, to know exactly where to input stats. We'll, on draft day, after draft, it's a Super Bowl, you can stick around. We'll go over everything. We don't really watch the Super Bowl unless I'm only going to watch it if the Raiders are in it. I'm going to be honest. Some guys are only going to watch it if the Niners are in it. So, whatever. Yeah, I think that's it. Best of luck to everybody in Season 6 of the PokeBowl. Peace.
Welcome to the PokeBowl League. We're closing in on year 6, baby. We're lining up the family tree to get destroyed by Nerd Robbie. Robbie just claimed victory. That's back-to-back Pokeballs, baby. Paul T was the MVP. Cole's tally is a total of 3. Charles can't help but lose. He's the worst, but we love him true. Chris is still bad, he'll complain boo-hoo. Just make sure you don't lose to these 2. Stern still winning games, what's new? Garrett choked on his own poo-poo. Parker went Jan 9 and then got screwed. Kyle swept him clean, jab, jab, 1, 2. Ridge wrecked the bottom of the league again. Josiah wins but can't find their places in. Dan A will stall till you say amen. Michael's good, say what since when? Oh, and Caleb's here, Mr. Irrelevant. Welcome to the PokeBowl League. We're closing in on year 6, baby. We're lining up the family tree to get destroyed by Nerd Robbie. Robbie just claimed victory. That's back-to-back Pokeballs, baby. Paul T was the MVP. Cole's tally is a total of 3.